Making money in your sleep. Making money during idle time. Now, a lot of people actually waste money during idle time. It's called idle time waste. So, this is what I'm talking about. Many people would dream of a business where you're running a business, you're producing your services, you're producing your products, and when you're not producing your business products or services, this money is coming in. It's coming in based on the fact that you've already set out your products and it's running itself. Now, let me give you an example. Assuming you owned a restaurant and you have the basic services of running your restaurant during regular hours, you have your waiters, you have your cooks, and you have everyone, the managers, everyone that's involved in getting the restaurant to work well. Now, that is not idle time. That is the period when all things are being run in order to make you money. Now, the second scenario is where you have a supplemental space. So in this supplemental space, for instance, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to put out your servers or your waiters to take care of the space. You don't have to use your chefs or your cooks to prepare any meals in order to run the space. And the space is being rented by people who would want to use the space for an occasion. Now think about that. So that is the possible opportunity to make some money while you're not running other activities. So this is called a period of idle time. So you're making use of the space's idle time, right? Now a lot of people find ways to waste that time by charging fees that are a little higher than the space is worth. Now, let me give you an instance. If you decide that the space value is $300 per weekend use, and then insist that all of the people who want to use the space have to pay a fee of $300, otherwise you wouldn't rent the space. What would happen if you found customers who are prepared to pay $200 per weekend in order to use the space? Some people turn away $200 because they believe that the value is lower than it's worth. But is it really lower? So let's look at a scenario where you decide to have a span of 3 months or 1 quarter. So if in 3 months we say we have 12 weeks to look at, and in that 12 weeks we decide to charge $300, which is the value of what is worth. Now, chances are that for customers who have seen that money as too high, they would walk away from that offer. So if they walked away from that offer and you got hypothetically 4 times the space was used in the period of a quarter, that would be that you made $300 times 4 over that period, which is $1,200, right, in that period. Now, on the other hand, if you had looked at the offers that were coming in because your clientele is indicating that they want to pay you that money, and you had the space booked at $200 every weekend within the 3-month period. So that would be $200, right? $200 times 12 weekends. So that would give you $2,400, right? So you've made twice the amount of money over that period. So the reason why this is idle time waste is not just for the money that you didn't make. If you charge too high, you also have to think about everything that was running, whether or not you were charging for it. So your electricity would be running all weekend. Your heating and cooling would be running all weekend. If you have staff that you pay on a salary basis, like month to month, you still would have to pay them month to month, regardless of whether or not you rented out that space. So I want you to think about that for a second. So do you want to have idle time waste? Or you want to have idle time earnings? So that is earning money in your sleep.